You're not supposed to be talking.
Sorry about that.
Cole always went to dance pictures. And he didn't even dance. Trevor.
That's the longest minute ever.
I know. And this mouse is working.
It's not working?
Yeah.
Is it on?
Cole got drawn a lot of places.
Oh, red lights on.
The youngest always.
All right. 6 o'clock. We'll call this board meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Roll call shows that all are present except for Chris Lasak.
And Kevin.
Kevin.
Oh, and Kevin. Thank you. All right. Administrative report. We'll start with the principals.
Mr. Fitterer.
Good evening, school board members, Superintendent Babcock, and TCU Student Council members. Good to see you all. Well, I was trying to remember the last time you had us here, and it was, I think, just before the holidays, if I remember right, in the December meeting. So I pulled a bunch of things together. First thing I'd like to recognize is we do something called Jammies and Generosity. And you remember back on January 19th, and I think JJ might share that, or he's got middle school student council putting the next one together. But we did one back in January on Mental Wellness Month, and ended up raising just shy of $900 across the district. Basically, staff is asked to donate $2. Students are suggested they donate $1 to wear their jammies, and it's been very successful. And we've got our third one coming up here on the last day of quarter 3, on Wednesday the 27th, and hopefully we'll raise some more money. We followed that up by bringing in a motivational speaker, Corey Greenwood, and we had a lot of positive feedback having him here. It was a rock concert, and he shared how he struggled as he was growing up, and his father took his own life, and he was explaining how he missed out having a parent that committed suicide. And as you know, we do a lot with Duck Cup Memorial, and that was a speaker that they ended up sponsoring for us, because the speaker they had for us was supposed to be here back in October. They weren't comfortable with that speaker after that speaker presented at New Prague, and so they canceled on us, and they paid for that speaker to come here. We followed that up in with Snow Week, and I want to give kudos to Becca Wiseman, who's our spirit advisor, and she once again did some incredible things during Snow Week. She had a student group that she bounced ideas off with, and they did all kinds of unique things. You may remember we actually crowned Queen was Lily Murphy and King was Abdullah Tandia, and another very successful week. And for the second year in a row, we actually had the dance off-site. We suggest it being semi-formal, and many students do dress up. We had it at Revival on Main, and once again had about 130 Titans at that dance, and that was a very successful week. That we followed up with our career day, and we had a lot of people, a lot of different people putting in time and effort. Honey Berg, who's our workforce coordinator out of South Central Service Co-op, we started embarking on this. It was actually an idea by our superintendent, Kevin Babcock, and we had never done that at the high school. We tried just before COVID hit and shut the world down. We had a careers, colleges, and courses night, and that was the closest thing that we had done that. What was unique about this day back on February 8th is we decided to really bite off a big chunk by shortening our school day. Honey brought in 30 vendors to present to our students, and students got to sign up. David Reese was our on-site person that built a great flex scheduler. which had students signing up for 9 15-minute sessions. They took part in 6 of them, but we had some backups in case sessions filled up. And that's how we ended the school day. And then at 4:30 p.m., we had our parent-teacher conference night. We had our FAFSA night. We had our bringing 8th grade to 9th graders on site and did presentations to them. And then on top of all that, we had our vendors back here to meet with people in the Commons. And a couple students got some summer jobs out of that night. It was a busy day, to say the least. A lot of people on site. Probably, I'm guessing, throughout the evening, close to 1,000 people with all the different people taking place. Very few 8th graders missed the 8th to 9th grade night, so right there's 150 8th graders. Most bring 1 or 2 parents, sometimes the whole family, so tack on another couple hundred. Parent-teacher conferences, the vendors. And it was also open to the public, which was also very unique. Masapos King. Mr. Melodic and I, we meet with any junior boys who have a Montgomery address. We do that here on site, and then they crown the king Valentine's Day weekend. Usually we have 1 candidate, sometimes 2, and we had 1 again this year. Blake Herman was crowned the 24th king by Luke Sklazacek, and so that tradition continues to happen. Speaking of that, just last week we had the Kolachki Day reps here on site, and they met with 4 or 5 young ladies. That one missed it, but I think you got details, right?
Yep.
All right, very good. That was followed up by National FFA Week, and we do our own FFA Week here during that time. We've got dress-up days, and we've got the annual beanbag tournament, which has become huge. We had quite a few staff members take part during advisory time. There was over 82 pair teams, and it starts on Tuesday, goes Wednesday, get the semis on Thursday, and Friday we had the finals, and we had the whole school in the gym during that finals time. It was an interesting time because Luke Halitsky ended up being one of the champs with his partner, Kellen O'Keefe, and Luke had just scored 1,000 points the week before, along with Reggie Vosapke, who also scored 1,000 points. Pretty interesting that a high school had 2,000-point scores within 48 hours. And they are the first 2 boys basketball players to ever hit 1,000 points as Titans. And it happened the same week. It happened within 2 days. Very unique. Some other highlights. Matthew Squires was selected as a Minnesota State High School League Most Valuable Teammate. And that is through the High School League. A very big honor for that young man who's a senior by the High School League. Morgan Gierstead went off to All-State kick for competitive dance. That was a couple Saturdays ago. First ever Titan selected for All-State dance. We had competitions in the FFA small gas engines. Ben Ballman was selected or tested out first individually, and his team also won the team competition. Our high school concert choir, John Sosa is the director. They came home with 1 superior, 2 excellence for an overall excellent rating 2 Wednesdays ago. This last Wednesday, Nate Reed, who is our long-term sub for Miss Costello, the high school band competed also at Jordan, and they also came home with 1 superior, 2 excellence for an overall excellent rating. And this Friday is our blood drive. And we've got some go-getters working that. We've got a tri-student coordinators, Kendall and Sauter, Nora Titus, Siani Medina, and we just secured 69 donation slots today, all filled. And so I had the blood drive. I contacted our rep, Ramsey, and asked if they could get another staff member assigned to TCU so they can add 6 more time slots during the day. They added 1 more last week. The goal being that we hit the $2,500 scholarship category, because their breaks are $1,000, and then the next time, or the next jump up is $2,500, which we met last year by having a late senior week drive in the last week of May to get us there. Registration is doing well. Spoke to your son today again, Mr. Belke. He was signed up for the wrong history class, so he said, yes, sign me up for the concurrent enrollment college class. We got that changed.
Dad would know what he's doing, but.
That's what we're doing now, though, is we are checking a registration and making sure students that should be in these classes are in the right classes. The counseling department met with the math department last week and got some of those math ones done. We sent a state wrestler off to the state tournament. He did very well. That just last weekend or 2 weekends ago already, but Tucker Uskelzacek was up there 2 weekends ago. We are sending off Thursday morning, so we've got a walk of champions again for U.S. Open Robotics. Got 2 teams going to Iowa. Last Friday, we did state wrestling. We had 2 high schoolers, 3 total weightlifters. 1 finished first, 1 finished second, I think 1 finished third. So did very well there. And we've got 20 plus going to state BPA this Thursday and Friday. We have that send off Thursday morning. It literally is never dull around the high school. We are almost back to a full staff. Well, we've got all positions back now. Miss Irwin, our school counselor, was back today on site. I got to give kudos to Gretchen Lilly, who was incredible since January 3rd. Always incredible, but especially incredible since January 3rd, as she was our one counselor on site for the past 2.5 months. And Amanda McCall really stepped up to our new social worker, who assisted greatly. We also moved her office from the cave, which has no windows, into the counseling area. We flip-flopped the counseling office conference room, and that's now in the cave area. And so we've got all 3, both counselors and social worker, in the counseling center. Finally, but not lastly, the Titan Achievement Academy, continue to see success there, especially with the online courses during that first hour time block. Students can make up credit recovery credits. We can't get paid for those through Southwest Metro, but the bottom line is we have students that are completing those online courses, which is getting them credit recovery back to get them back on track for graduation. That's been the last 2.5 months. Any questions? Anything you want to throw at me?
No, a lot of student success, though,
Yeah.
over the last quarter, well, 2.5 quarters, that we haven't seen before, so pretty awesome.
A lot of firsts.
Yeah.
State dance, 1,000-point scores,
Mm-hmm.
academics as well. So
Yeah, I just saw the girls hockey was 3.957
yes.
overall GPA as a team.
Yeah.
That's pretty outstanding.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We had 3 senior dancers that all 3 of our senior dancers got recognized for a 3.85 or higher grade point average too. So not only are our students are performing on the courts, the fields, in the pool, but they're also showing it where it really, really matters, and that's in the classroom.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. How are we? Coming from kindergarten roundup.
That's right.
So this spring, our elementary team, with the welcoming of Miss Acosta, they went through some walkthroughs, and so they've been walking through different places, or not different places, but through our elementaries, doing walkthroughs and seeing what are the things that we need to beef up, what are the things that are going really well, and how can we best meet the needs of all of our students and all of our staff, and where are we going and heading for the future. And how can we bring families in, and how can we build community in that capacity with her. Through the last month, we've had conferences. I know in our building, we had an incentive for the kids. They had a passport. And so today, Mr. Johnson was so awesome. He gave us all kinds of passes and he gave us gear. And so I got to pull the names of the kids that got to get that gear and get those passes because they came to conferences with their parents and went to all of their teachers. And so that was kind of exciting and a fun way to amp up getting some participation in the spring, because sometimes it kind of wanes a little bit in the spring. Also, right now we're doing kindergarten roundup. I know our building is tonight. I don't know exactly when the other elementaries are, but it's coming up in the near future for everybody. We also, again, had great attendance tonight. I feel like there were lots and lots of families there. We had a passport again, so the kids were running around all the different places and stamping all of the different areas that they got to visit. And Ms. Brockway was giving a presentation with me, and it was fun to see all that energy coming into the school. They're so excited to see all of the fun things. Mr. Whip's child is coming, and he is just, I'm ready to go to school. He's going through the halls doing all that. So it's fun to see that when sometimes when you have middle levels, you wish that excitement would, go all the way up there. Yes, exactly. During the next few months, of course, we're going to be working on staffing, okay? We've got some things that are going to be challenging and some hard things and some hard conversations that we're going to have. We're also going to have some things that seem kind of exciting to do, too. So we're working on staffing and working on recommendations from all of the evaluations that we've been doing. We've done a lot of walkthroughs this year. That's kind of been, I think that we really were diligent with those. And I think that hopefully the teachers are seeing that that's improving their practice and that they are seeing us, we're visible, we're around, we're not in our offices, and I hope that they're finding that useful. Some other things, we have the READ Act coming up, so we have to find out exactly what that all means, and we're kind of waiting for the state to finish up all of their parts of it so that we can deliver that in the best way possible. There's a bunch of things that Alan did comment on that I'm like, our kids got to participate too. So these are all the fun things like the Duck Cup. The kids loved that. Our students got to come over. Our 6th through 8th grade students got to be part of that. Our AVID children got to come to the job fair, which I thought was an excellent connection so that they could see things over here and see the high schoolers and look at jobs. I want to recognize Mr. DePow over there. He sold 1,200 crush cans with his student council. So that was kind of a fun event. The kids are really excited about that to see who they get crush cans from. So we want to give kudos to him and his kiddos. We had 8th grade registration in the recent past, so Miss Mackenzie Linehan really had a lot to do with that. And then again, JJ and Miss Halitsky are hosting our lock-in with our student councils on Friday from 6 to 8, or not from 6 to 8, it's the 6th through 8th graders. It's until 10 o'clock at night, and so I'm excited to be part of that for the first time. I know at our school with PBIS, we have this buddy activity time, which I enjoy greatly. We have 8th graders working with kindergartners and 7th graders working with 1st graders, and it's been a joy for me to see all of that time. So we just got done having that day last week. I know other buildings do assemblies. We do that too. Our students of the month, they really enjoy that time with one another. We want to recognize Annika Meyer, who took 3rd in her weight class with her weightlifting, and that was kind of fun to be part of that too as she walked through with her walk. She was all nervous, but it was very fun to see. I said, you'll remember this forever. We want to recognize our robotics team that some of our students were part of. We also had students who were part of the all-state choir for the first time with Mr. Sosa. And then we have something kind of fun, at least in our building. We're going to do some mini courses for advisory. So we have teachers that are kind of doing passion areas. So we sent out requests for lots of supplies and things that they needed. So we're going to have some crocheting, and we're going to have a bags team group, and I'm going to do drumming, and trying to think what else. Oh, chess, and maybe some soccer, moves and things like that. So just kind of some fun here as we're coming into 4th quarter and keeping the kids excited about what's happening and kind of keep a lid on things. The excitement today, I think some of the sports were starting, so you could tell they were all kind of hyped up as they were leaving, but that's also fun to see too. So yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thanks.
Yep.
Is that it for principals?
Yep.
Okay. The March board report. you want to run through that, Kevin, or?
I can do a little summary of just a little of everything going on, I guess. So you heard Shannon and Alan speak for elementary and high school. Obviously, right now we are working on staffing. Good thing is we're not really getting rid of staff. So we're in a pretty decent spot of just looking at where we need to maneuver some people around, shift some people around, and then obviously when high school gets their sections and all that. So as far as staffing and so on, that's probably a hot topic right now because obviously we're going into a capital budget. If I look at marketing, Anna's working on the parades that's coming up, St. Patty's parades. We're always looking at what we can do to, I guess, brand our district and what's going on in our district. We're looking at doing some postcards to go out here sometime to some of our families to promote TCU as we continue to grow. You heard a lot of great things coming from Alan and Shannon, so we're working on that. The kindergarten roundup, if you had a chance to look at those brochures or packets, are amazing. One thing we're going to start looking at is how to do that for enrollment. So when families sign up, there'll be a digital model, and or if they request it, we can also do a folder, give them a paper copy too, where there's what's the district about, and then the enrollment papers. So she's working heavily on those few things right now. And then of course the branding, we're out, like I said, we're always looking at trying to figure out where we can make it so where you are at, when you're in TCU, you know you're at TCU. So we're looking at, and I brought this up last year, the fronts of our buildings. So we're going to be visiting that pretty heavily here with some of our organizations to see how we can make that happen. And just going across the board, if we look at, I know facilities isn't on here, but our overall facilities are in a really good spot right now. All of our HVAC and all of our boilers and heating and cooling systems are all up and running. Our roofs are all up to speed. So right now we're at a really good spot. I think our staffs are settling into our new director, Jav. And as we continue to grow with that model, we'll see our staff growing into getting their boilers license, their pool operators license, which most of them want to get now. So we'll be in a much better place to grow that capacity. So we don't always have to have the same person in the building. So that's pretty exciting. And then just as a team, especially coming from the principal side, the communication and the work that's still going on to bridge our 3-4 communities up to Allen at the high school is going really well. So bringing Elida Acosta in to work with us on those components. She's got a pretty good mindset already on where we're at, what we're doing, and how we're going to potentially move forward. So that's really exciting as well. So right now it's capital time, staffing time, and looking at next year's budget is the biggest item. We did pretty well last year with spending, and so we're going to be looking at really heavily on how we maintain that piece of the puzzle as enrollment in the future has a tendency right now, and it looks like it's going to go down. However, kindergarten roundup looks pretty good, so we may be in a better spot than we thought, but we'll see. It's all relative, day by day, year by year, when you're talking about enrollment. So really exciting what's going on. Teams are working really well together, and it's pretty exciting. You can hear about this, you can hear from Shannon and Alan about students, even through our food service. You heard Amy speak not too long ago about our students picking and choosing. We're trying to incorporate more and more and more about our students picking and choosing and allowing them to have more say and have a little more excitement, a little bit more fun in what they do, at the same time as trying to find the right offerings so that we make it so that it doesn't always feel like school. So really exciting, and a lot of work going on behind the scenes. So I always give kudos to the directors and the admin team, principals in this district, because they do a lot of work. And we have some amazing teachers that I can sit here and keep recognizing. JJ, that was huge. I keep telling JJ, I haven't told you this yet, but you should really go out to Orange Crush and get some sponsorship.
I tried, but it sounds like it's a longer process than I expected.
Dang, so you did try.
I have to put in for actual I don't know, like a grant or something. So I'm in for it for next year, because last year was 700 and I expected to sell less, and we sold 500 more. So I was like, okay, if it gets any bigger next year, I don't have a big enough truck.
So, there's those things going on. We have some STEAM grants that are going out right now. People are writing grants. They're working hard for the district. Very, very, very happy with what our staff is doing right now. So,
Great, thanks. Okay, I'll seek a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Trevor Hone, seconded by Marcia Fronek to approve the agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion's passed. 6-0, 5-0, right? 5-0. Yeah. All right, on the consent agenda, we have approval of minutes from the February 12th, 2024 board meeting, as well as the February 26th, 2024 special board meeting. Under personnel, we have employment ending Andrew Meyer, junior high track coach, Jordan Sankey, teacher for 3rd grade, Kelsey Walters, paraprofessional, Rachel Johnson, paraprofessional. Under new hires, we have Autumn Greger, kitchen helper, Amy Greger, kitchen helper, Caitlin Ellingsworth, junior high track, Nikaya Young, softball, Rochelle Brokel, softball, Guinevere Merritt, paraprofessional, Melissa Thies, paraprofessional, Tanner Hadler, junior high track, Adam Smith, volunteer track coach. Under leave of absence, we have Sally O'Brien, junior high track. And we have approval of bills in the amount of $769,225.29. I will seek a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Make the motion.
I can second it.
I have a motion by Marcia, seconded by Cindy to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion's passed 5-0. Open forum, I don't think we have anyone here, correct? Okay. Seeing none, now we have the student board member report.
So, we don't have a lot. Mr. Finger kind of said most of our stuff.
Sorry, ladies.
You should have talked beforehand.
Way upstage on me.
Mostly just NHS having their blood drive this Friday, and they're filled up all their slots. And then Montgomery Middle School planning on our next James and Generosity for March. And then Prom and Safety Week are coming up in April and May, so we're starting preparations for that all over the school. Mostly student council will be talking about that at our next meeting, because Safety Week is probably our biggest event, yeah. Not much else.
Great, thank you. Informational items, I should probably catch up here. We have radon testing results.
you can pop them up if you wanted. So we had every space of all of our facilities tested for radon, and we have to report to the board that we passed in every single capacity for all radon tests throughout the entire district. We didn't fail one test. So kudos to the district and where we're at with our spaces. So that's 100% passing of our radon test.
Is that a routine thing?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep, but we have to report it every year. So.
Okay.
Every year it gets tested?
Mm-hmm. Oh, 2 years. Sorry. Yeah, thanks, Brenda. Every 2 years. So that was good to know.
All right. Then the potential land sale.
Do you want to combine the community update with this? You just want to talk about it?
I think we can talk about it. I don't know if the committee's gonna advise me more. We're all on board.
You just want to bring them up? We can chat about them real quick, or
Sure. Give me your call.
so we just chat real quick about the potential thought. So Trevor will work with me on this, but so right now we own 3 properties that we currently aren't using. There's 2 by the center, and there's one piece of property that was donated to us here in Montgomery, just is that west of the school? Just
Slightly west.
Northwest of the school. And we're looking at what we need to do with those. So we're having conversations in our facilities meeting, finance meetings, as to if we're potentially going to look at selling those pieces of land. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, they're not worth much, but that parcel there was donated to us, and we'll probably never use that piece of land. Do we know when that was donated to us? Ellen, would you know?
It
It's
says
2011.
2011. From Tiny?
Oh, actually before we became
TCU?
officially
Yeah.
the high school.
What is your before that?
It's 8 acres of non-buildable land just outside of town, in between here and the waste treatment plant. The other 2 lots in Lee Center are buildable. We don't see that we'll ever do anything with those 2 lots either.
Point them out to, so there's,
Yep, that one.
this one right here, and this one right here. There's a house that's in between them. So. And right now, we're just maintaining them, with no potential use for them at this point.
I don't believe we don't pay tax on them, but the lots in Lee Center, we are mowing weekly for no good reason. So facilities talked about selling them, which we haven't completely are ready to bring it to the board yet, but
Correct.
pretty much
Yep.
pretty close to bring it to the board about selling them. They're not worth a whole lot, to be honest with you.
And we've had this conversation in facility, or in,
Finance.
finance, yes.
So
Not
next,
the same.
next step is, to bring to the board to approve, to find somebody to sell them. So that would be the next step in the process. So we'll have that conversation, coming forward here. Once finance and facilities give the 2 thumbs up, then we'll bring it to the board for potential approval, to then go out to the market to see who potentially would like to bid on those, or sell it, not sorry, to bid the sell. And then we'll go through the process from there, if that's the case. So that's where we're at.
Okay. Next, we have graduation representation. I know Chris had mentioned he'd be open.
Yes.
We
So that
usually
is,
have 3.
yep, so that is any board member that would like to sit in on graduation.
What's the week, what weekend is it? again?
Friday Memorial Day weekend.
Graduation weekend.
You're such a
31st is graduation, correct?
Is
Friday
it?
31st, it's the,
Yeah.
Oh, it's the weekend
Friday
after.
after Memorial
May
Day.
31st.
They changed it then.
It's just how the calendar worked out.
Dang. Okay.
Pretty much the last Friday in May is.
May 31st?
Yes.
Oh, if no one else wants to do it, I can do it too.
You need 3 total.
I can't remember, is it 3 now?
It's always been 3.
okay.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll
I'm in
do
the
it.
same boat. I don't need to do it, but I'm around that weekend, I can, but if 3 other people want to, have at it. I've done it the last 2 years.
I did it last year, but I didn't do it the year before. But I still know kids that are graduating this year, so. No one else wants to.
I'll plan to. I can plan to do it.
Did Chris say he wanted to?
Yes.
He did say
Chris
he wanted
does,
to.
okay.
Yeah. So I have Chris and myself, and then.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Well, maybe does Kevin like to do it?
He probably won't. He's not here to defend himself, so.
So then we volunteer him?
So either, well,
You too.
we could do that too.
That's how that works.
I'm around, but it doesn't, there's me, that's fine.
Put me down, I'll do
Okay.
it with you guys.
Chris, Josh, and Marcia.
Chris,
All right.
Josh, and Marcia, everybody okay with that?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, Alan.
So Alan, you can add that to your list. Fantastic.
Okay, then enrollment.
Yeah, you can click on that. We're up 5 students. We just ebb and flow a little bit. We could be getting students back from Southwest Metro, from onlines. We've had a few recent, couple younger starts. So it just goes up a little bit, goes down a little bit. It's staying very consistent though. So I don't really have much to fully report on it. That's pretty simple. So,
Easy enough.
yep.
Okay, committee updates. We kind of did, well,
That was the only committee we've had since
Okay.
then. So yeah, that's why I
Okay.
just had
No worries.
Trevor speak with me on that. So.
okay, so Chris is not here for the donations. Who do we have? Who's going to read them?
We go back to facilities.
Yeah.
Parking lots are done this summer.
Oh, thank you. Let's go backwards.
Can that be the last time we talk about parking lots?
We were done with that conversation.
Move on.
Did you want to talk about it?
No, that was the 2 things we talked about today, parking lots and sales. That's it.
My gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along.
Who's gonna do this now, Chris?
You want me to read it?
That'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, Marcia.
Be it resolved that the School Board of Independent School District Number 2905 accept with appreciation and following gifts and donations and permit their use as designated by the donors. We have various donors for $900 for our Community Ed Special Olympics Polar Plunge. Next Chapter Winery for $60, the Montgomery Kindergarten Field Trip. and Waterville Lions Club $500 for the Community Ed Special Olympics.
All right, Board Member Marcia Fronik introduced the following resolution and moved it to adoption, which was seconded by, and I'll need a second for it.
I'll second it.
Trevor. So motion seconded by Trevor Hone. This is by a roll call vote. Hillary,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
I'm a yes. Trevor,
Yes.
and Marcia.
Yep.
Motion's passed 5-0. All right, next up we have a general leave of absence without pay.
That's Ted Doyle has asked for a leave of absence.
Yep.
And he, we only get basically, nope, it's denied, but, 1 per year. He's just
Denied.
asked to step away from teaching for a short while, so, that was,
For 5 years?
What is the normal leave of absence, just one?
A year.
A year.
So he's asking up to 5 years?
So I have a question. When can he retire?
What are you saying? Would you read?
Just leave.
So that's all.
I can't bring it up there.
I mean, just
Yeah, I can't bring it up.
the letter and that was it.
Okay.
As far as retirement. I can't ask that, so.
What are you recommending on this?
Are you struggling with
5
something?
years,
I'm very much struggling with it completely.
so am I.
I can see a year, but for 5 years,
No.
Well, if it was a year, then we wouldn't have this letter in front of us.
Correct.
Well, if no one brings it, if no one makes a motion, we'll just move on.
Can I ask why this is dated January?
They have to put it in, I can't remember the exact date, but they have to put it by a certain
there's a
date. So they-
timeline that
yeah,
they
so
have to
get
put in by
it
February.
first on the scheduled recommendation.
It's in the contract.
Yeah.
Does this state in a contract that can ask up to 5 years? Okay. I knew it was a year, I didn't remember
Yeah.
the timeframe.
Yeah.
The contract does say an extended leave anywhere from 3 to 5 years. They
Okay.
do.
What is the negativity about this? Why don't we want to okay this, I guess I want to ask? For him
I-
starting this tutoring business, did you guys already read the letter?
I know, but it's taking,
The problem I would have is if we hire a new math teacher and after 4 years he comes back and is gonna bump somebody.
well, he will. Because that's seniority.
Not necessarily guaranteed to get the exact same spot, but seniority wise, he would
Seniority,
have
he
a
will.
position somewhere. That would be correct.
I guess I struggle with the fact that he's been a staple teacher in this district for many, many years. And to take him out of the mix to pursue other avenues and not for the children of our district that he has been doing, I struggle with that. I mean, I get it, try to
I
find
mean,
things
kudos
after.
to him that he's gonna start up his own business and everything, I have nothing against that. But usually, it's not 5 years, and if he wants to pursue it, that's great. But.
Ellen, what are your 2 cents on this? Would you rather not speak them?
I don't have a problem talking. The challenges we have right now, nobody is going out to teach mathematics. So if you're asking me, I would give him the 5 years because what he shared with me that if the math tutoring online doesn't work, then he would come back anytime after year 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. He's starting a new business and hopes to make a go of it. He's actually, he wants to help kids. So if we know that within 5 years, he might be back at any time after any one of those years, if financially this doesn't work out as he's hoping it does. That's a positive, because there's just no math teachers out there. There's no science teachers out there. It's such a struggle right now, finding quality people, and he's a quality person.
But see, I struggle with that comment that you just made, that if it doesn't go out, then he can come back. But then we've already gone out and hired a teacher to replace him, knowing that it's not forever also. So that's where, and if it's for the kids, I'm all in about the kids, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm at for our kids here at TCU.
Correct.
And whereas tutoring can happen across the board all over the place, and not just here at TCU.
You can't commingle business and,
So,
and,
That's why leave absences are tough.
no.
They are,
This
and
is all
this is a
his
tough one.
livelihood. If he's teaching or tutoring, this is his livelihood though.
I struggle with this. 5 years, that's a long time. You know, we've gone through a couple of them a year here and there, for other reasons other than pursuing business. But
It's tough because he's very honest about it.
I agree, and I think we need to be very honest about it here too, you know.
Exactly.
He's been teaching here for quite a few years. So we take that chance to say, yep, we're gonna do it, but then in a year he comes back because it didn't go. Then I feel bad. I don't know.
I'm ready to post the position. I actually sent the posting off today. If the board says no, of course, we won't post it, but I'll be surprised if I get more than 5 apps. And it's only March, so that's the challenge. It'll go internally and externally.
So you feel if we say no to this, that he's not gonna pursue this career?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
I have no idea on that.
Get it, it's gonna take time to build your own business and all of that, but at some point you have to choose. And I feel we're choosing his career for him by granting a leave or not granting a leave. And that, I don't know.
I think with the leave, he wants to have a plan B. If plan A, this new adventure, doesn't work out for him.
But if it does work out, he wouldn't be coming back anyway then.
What's that?
Right.
Okay.
So the 5 years up, he wouldn't be coming back.
But we'd still have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm completely fine with this, to be honest with you. The only stipulation that I'd want in there, and I don't even know if we have the power to do this, that in the meantime, in year 3, he goes to a different district and teaches, and then I would say this is void. I don't even know if we can do that. That's the one thing I would have a problem with, is if he went and taught somewhere else, and then came back here in year 5, when his business didn't work after 2 years.
I don't think that there's anything that states that he can or cannot do that, because he's on a leave of absence.
But could you do a leave of absence and go and teach at a different district? Could someone take a 1 year leave? We do 1 years all the time. Can someone do a
But
1
it's
year leave of
without
absence
pay.
and go to?
This is without pay,
It's
so you have
without
to do a
pay.
full resign, and then this would all drop off.
Sure, it's without pay, but you can't, he's starting a new business, can he go teach somewhere else and be,
No.
it's not you, no teacher can do that, okay.
No, he's bound by his teaching license, so he can only be teaching.
And
one.
TCU is hanging on to his teacher's
Correct.
license. So that would kick him out of this anyway then, wouldn't it? Yeah, so it wouldn't matter, so if he went somewhere else to teach, then this would be null and void anyway, cause that would be, the leave of absence would be gone,
He'd have to resign from here.
Right. Yeah.
to take a different teaching job.
Correct.
That would be
He'd
fine.
still be under contract, just not getting paid
Yeah,
for
right.
it, so he'd have to resign.
So he can't go to his, I don't have a problem with it.
And he doesn't accumulate years of service while he's on this either, so
But he still keeps his seniority.
that he will. Yeah, it's like putting, a little bit different, but like putting a toast on a toaster roll, right? They can come back, bump somebody out, potentially. Just a little bit different, because Toast is obviously working in the district with businesses doing their own thing. That's why we don't allow more than one of these.
I mean, what kind of courses does he have on his day? Is he teaching, he's teaching the upper courses, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he has a pre-calc from Southwest Minnesota State. I've already talked to Cindy Samro. She's willing to take that on. I'm working on another math department member to actually get certified through Southwest Minnesota State, so I've got more than one. Mrs. Samro teaches the highest math course we have, and that's calculus, so Southwest State will just, that'll be an easy one for her to take on Mr. Doyle's course, because that's the step below. But I
So
do
to
need, go ahead.
Get another teacher certified, that costs the district money in order for that to happen. Am I correct by saying that?
No, it's basically, it's just paperwork.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she'll be able to go right into that.
Yeah.
You can teach calculus, she'll be able to teach whatever from the college. They'll grant it to her in 2 seconds.
But you said you
Meaning-
want to get another teacher
Right.
certified though.
Right, there's no classes. It's just a lot of paperwork. They have to show past experience why they feel that they can teach at a pre-calc level, which is a college course.
How many years has he been here?
He was here before me, so I was hired in 2006, probably 2-3 years prior to that. So
Almost 20.
probably early 2021 or 2001, 2002,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
I think he came around the same time I did. Yeah.
Let's put some time
Mhm.
in. You guys feel that you want to vote on, or we need to table this for other board members?
We need a motion moving forward.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, a motion by Trevor, I'll need a second.
I'll second it.
Motion by Trevor Hone, seconded by Hillary Birdsall, to approve a 5-year extended leave of absence for Ted Doyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's 2, 3. All those opposed?
Aye.
Motion's passed 3-2. All right. I will seek a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:47.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Marcia Fronek, seconded by Trevor Hone to adjourn the meeting at 6:47 p.m.